Julius Malema once again stood in front of thousands, confidently chanting "Kill the Boer," a slogan that once belonged to the struggle against apartheid, but now serves a far more dangerous purpose. Let's cut through the noise. This is not about freedom. This is not about justice. This is about power through collapse. Malema doesn't want to save South Africa. He wants to watch it suffer, because suffering is fertile ground for radicalization. When people are hungry, hopeless and angry, they don't think clearly. They don't demand nuanced policy or stable leadership. They crave strong voices, even if those voices are rooted in hate. Malema knows this. His entire strategy depends on the continued decay of the country. The worse the economy gets, the more service delivery collapses, the more violence spreads, the stronger he becomes. Why? Because chaos creates followers, desperation creates loyalty, and in the ruins of what was once a functioning democracy, a populist like him can step forward and say, "Only I can fix this." But he never intends to fix anything. His rise depends entirely on keeping the country broken. That's the trap. What we're watching is not revolutionary activism. It's the weaponization of pain. And the chant "Kill the Boer" is not just an emotional outburst. It's a calculated tool. A rallying cry designed to provoke, divide, and inflame. It gives his supporters someone to blame, someone to hate. It gives him relevance. And all the while, the international community watches, not out of concern, but out of opportunity. The West doesn't care about Malema's rhetoric unless it threatens their economic interests. If South Africa becomes unstable enough to jeopardize mining contracts, trade routes, or investor confidence, then they'll react. But not to protect lives, not to preserve democracy, only to preserve access. Because let's face it, Western powers rarely act out of moral obligation. They act when their bottom line is at risk. If South Africa's chaos creates a vacuum they can step into, they'll exploit it. They'll offer loans, aid, and corporate entry points disguised as partnerships, all while pretending they care about stability. So in this game, there are two dangerous forces at play. On one side, you have Malema, who wants suffering because it builds his base. On the other side, you have the West, which profits from suffering as long as they control the terms. Caught in the middle are everyday South Africans, people who want jobs, safety, opportunity, a future. Instead, they're fed fear, division, and destruction, all packaged as revolution. This is not about liberation anymore. This is about control through collapse. Malema's rhetoric will never stop because it's working. The more extreme he becomes, the more media attention he gets. The more outrageous his words, the more viral his message becomes. He knows the system won't punish him, and if it ever does, he'll turn that punishment into martyrdom. He's cornering the political narrative, turning pain into purpose, blame into identity. It's a playbook we've seen before in history, and it never ends well. But here's the most dangerous part. For people who are truly desperate, his words sound like hope. When you have nothing to lose, hate can feel like direction. And that's exactly what he's counting on. He's not trying to unify South Africa. He's not offering solutions. He's offering an enemy. And that enemy, whether it's the Boer, the white farmer, the capitalist, or even the West, becomes the glue that holds his movement together. He needs people angry. He needs them poor. He needs them afraid. Because then he becomes their savior, the only one who tells the truth, even as he leads them toward deeper darkness. South Africa is at a crossroads. The warning signs are there. And if no one steps in to cool the fire, to offer real leadership, or to hold dangerous rhetoric accountable, this road ends in ruin. Malema doesn't want a better country. He wants to rule over its ruins. And if we keep pretending this is just political theatre, just a controversial figure making noise, we're going to wake up in a place we don't recognise, where violence is normalised, where hate is law, and where the only voices left standing are the ones that shouted the loudest while everything burned.